What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You are tuned in to the Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 148. This is the Broncos versus Chiefs recap. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday morning. Got my guys in here, Clarence, Ty, Mark.
What up, though?
We in the building, and we about to give y'all some good content talking about this game for last night. Let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to win him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chiefs Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
Hey, get rid of this background. This thing. Go ahead. Talk.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Chiefs Kingdom, Arrowhead Chief Podcast, episode 148. Like I said, we in the building. What's up, Clarence? How you feeling, man?
I'm cooling, bro. Give me 1 second. I'm working on this background thing, but I'm cooling.
All right, for sure.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
Ty? How
I'm
you
black.
feeling, man?
Same with me, chilling. It's not easy being the most spoiled fake fan. It's just not. But
Boy, Ty been in the kitchen all day.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Ty been in the kitchen. Fucking boy.
And of course, DJ Ant, what's cracking?
Victory Friday.
Beep, 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 beep.
That's
Right.
how you. That's how you gotta look at it, man. Chiefs won.
Victory Friday. You know, we get it out the way. You ain't got to worry about stress until nobody's Sunday. You get to enjoy the rest of the game. Just sit back and chill. Enjoy the college. Enjoy college on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the league on Sunday, and then get a snoozer on Monday.
Okay.
And Sunday night. Sunday night's just
Sunday night is worse.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And sit and watch Tyrod Taylor versus Josh Allen.
Well, I mean, Tyrod
that-
Taylor
that-
really
that-
worse than Daniel.
If Saquon was playing,
Is it
it would
really
be
worse than
different.
Daniel Jones?
But I don't think Saquon's playing, so
No.
Yeah,
He
Saquon's
need to hurt
out.
play, man.
He's out.
He fucking up
Nope.
my fantasy over here,
Nope.
man.
no, he don't. He needs to
he's
sit
on that
his ass
1-year
down.
deal.
Nope,
Yeah.
don't play Saquon.
Nah.
Austin Eckler, you can stay home too.
He fucking up my shit too.
Until them owners give
Son
them
of a
their
bitch.
money, until them owners pay these running backs and stop trying to devalue them, stay your ass at home.
Well, the Chargers don't pay running backs. The last running back they paid
It
was
don't
who?
matter. And you
LaDainian?
see their production,
Yes,
and you see
LaDainian
what they doing.
They don't pay running backs. That's the problem that I have with the
You
Chargers.
see what they doing, and you
No,
see
no.
how they went. You see how they beat the Raiders.
hmm
Okay.
I agree. I mean, I agree. These running backs need to get paid, but just the reality of it is some of these teams they just don't pay running backs.
Well,
It's
I
just
mean, Austin
crazy.
Eckler can go somewhere else and get that money.
Yeah, I agree.
Same
I
with
mean,
Saquon.
that offense just don't run the same
Saquon
without
definitely
Eckler.
Saquon
Yeah.
gonna get a bag.
I can't wait to see
Jonathan
Clarence.
Taylor got 3 for 42. Saquon about to get 5.
I can't
Maybe
wait
4.
to see.
He'll probably get 4.
I
But that
can't.
bag gonna be big.
I can't wait for the Clarence rant when Isaiah Pacheco come up and Brett V say.
Oh, because
"Nah,
you
we
know
good."
Veach ain't gonna pay him.
Nah, we good.
You know Veach ain't gonna pay that man.
They'll
You
move
know
off
Veach
when
ain't
that
gonna pay
happens.
No.
You
He
know
ain't gonna
Veach
pay
is not paying Pop.
Nope.
They'll move off before that happens. That's just the reality.
They're not gonna
When-
pay him.
When Prince is our starting running back,
Yeah. Yeah. When you got
We got-
Daenerys
but
Prince
wait,
and P.
If we can't pay Pacheco, we can't pay Snead, we can't pay Chris Jones, we can't. I mean, who are we gonna pay? We
Pat,
gonna pay somebody eventually or not?
Pat and Jawan Taylor. That's who they pay.
and Creed,
Jawan
Chris Jones
Taylor.
ain't got no money.
Creed
did he?
Humphrey.
Yeah.
And Trey Smith is gone too.
Nah, I don't see that. I think Trey Smith will be
I
back.
think
Maybe
Tony-
I'm wrong, but I think
I
he'll
think
be
Tony
back.
will be gone before it.
Yeah.
There's Veach. Well, what day is it? Is it a Wednesday? Fucking trade his ass then. Shit. We ain't paying nobody but Pat. Hey, Pat. All right now.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I'm over it.
You over it? You sure?
Yeah, I'm back.
All right, man. Let's talk about it, man. Chiefs win 19-8. Patrick Mahomes, he had a decent, solid game. Wasn't great. Travis Kelsey balled
Why
out.
wasn't it great?
We're gonna get into that. All right. It
Okay.
was okay. It was solid.
Okay.
I've seen better. I've seen
It
better
looked
from Patrick.
it looked like a last year's Thursday night game. I'll just leave it at that.
It
Okay.
did.
Isaiah Pacheco was solid. You know what I'm saying? He had a solid game. Five yards, some per carry.
Mm.
Rasheed Rice. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Had 4 catches, 72 yards. We're gonna
Mhm.
get into that in a little bit. And then the defense, that's what let's just
Mhm.
talk about this defense. Nick Bolton
Mhm.
was back. He missed some
Mhm.
tackles, but he was rusty coming back from that ankle injury. But he had an
Mhm.
interception. Uh Chris
He
Jones
was
had a
really good
sack.
in pass coverage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Chris Jones had a sack. He did his thing. I forgot who else had a sack. Somebody else had a sack. Oh, Jay Reed had a sack and an interception. This is probably Jay Reed's best game this
Wi-
season.
Willie Gay had a monster game
Yeah,
yesterday.
Willie Gay.
Yeah, he
Leo
did.
Chanel made some plays. Drew
If you need
Tranquil
a fumble, you
continued.
just ask Willie Gay for it. Willie will go get you a fumble.
And,
Mhm.
and,
Yeah, he
hell,
will. And
Yeah,
McDuffie
McDuffie
too.
too.
He'll get you a fumble. He'll strip
he,
that ball, man.
he had that. He was responsible for the tipped interception. He
Yeah.
had a great
Mhm.
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, man. So
Yeah. Willie will
defense
get
all
you a
around,
turnover.
man.
He
Yeah,
won't
Yeah,
be back
defense
next
all
year
around.
either.
Yeah, he'll be a Raider.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Willie Gay's gone.
He'll be a Raider next year.
And that's not
Um,
even and
He
that's not
better
even
not be a
excited going
Raider.
away.
Yeah.
Nah, he goes.
Why would he
Who
go
would he
to the
sign with the
Raiders?
Raiders for? He
You're
needs to
right.
go to a
Right.
team that can win.
brother, money
Uh,
talks,
But
man. They don't give a damn about all that we talking.
The
That money,
the
that
Bears
paycheck
got
come
money.
in.
yeah, he said
I mean, the Raiders could use him.
The
They
Bears
give
got
him
they
money.
definitely could use a
they
linebacker.
give him 3 years, 50 million, 30 guaranteed. He gone, baby.
Yeah, play in Vegas too. Scoot over,
Yeah.
Jenny. I was here first. She like me.
But of course, everybody's still everybody's still talking about this
That's
offense.
Jenny.
This offense. Harrison Buckner was probably the
Oh, stop.
offensive player of this game.
Don't do this, Chris.
That was actually more gratitude, to be honest. I mean, the 60.
Don't
I
do
get
this, Chris.
he had the 60-yarder, and then he had the
Hey, was
50-yarder.
he
But
not?
Don't do this,
Hey, man.
Chris.
Hey, Buckner been clutch this year, dog.
Yeah,
What's
he
his name?
is. He's been better.
Buckner.
Yeah, say it
Buck-
again.
Buckner.
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 I call him butt kicker, so you know what I'm saying.
Shit.
Some of those field goals should have been touchdowns, point blank. Period. Though
Yeah, exactly. They was
Yeah.
in the red zone
that
like
was a
5, 6
nightmare.
times.
There was 1 for 5 in the red zone.
Yeah, so it was all bad in the red zone this year. It's not been good. They weren't good in the Jets game either. So
No,
They haven't been good all year.
they were terrible
Well,
on third down. Though that was the disturbing
too.
stat.
Well, let's be real. We've known about that. I mean, and especially them 3rd and 1s, it's so predictable at this point. I convinced everybody in Arrowhead Stadium knew what they was going to do on that 3rd and short yesterday that they didn't get.
But even so, though, I mean, third and short, yeah, they've been bad the last 2 years. But even so, when it wasn't third and short, they were one of the best third down teams last year. Period. But this year, like, what is going on? It didn't make any sense. But we'll keep going, keep rolling.
yeah, I don't know what it is about 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, where Andy is just like, man, I gotta make this shit complicated, man. I get bored of shit. Like I think
And
Andy be bored. Like, man, I ain't about to just run no 1 yard up the gut with Pacheco. No, we
Makes
ain't
too
doing no
much
QB
sense.
sneak. That's too easy,
Right.
man. I gotta
Make
do
too
some
much
Like
sense
that-
to do it.
man.
Like that fake field goal, I have a huge problem with that. You're going to take the
Oh
ball
my
out of
God!
you're going to take the ball out of your $500 million quarterback's hands and put it into a kicker's on 4th and 2.
He does it all the
Really?
time. He do it all the time with Blake Bell.
Normally you
And
don't
it
do
don't
that against.
work.
But here's my
And
thing,
it
though.
hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. I don't think it's worked one time.
But here's-
This game, he was like, I'm not gonna use Blake Bell. I'm gonna trick him with Kadarius Toney.
You need to work on catching the ball. That's all you need to work on doing. But even so, though, what didn't make any sense about normally you don't run those kind of plays against division teams. You don't do it.
That's
In the
because
fact-
he don't respect Denver.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you beat him 16 straight
Mhm.
times, so I get it. I thoroughly get it.
When Andy do them press conferences, oh, it was a good team. We're looking forward to the challenge of Denver. They're a very good team. They just falling on hard times, and then the game come and you see the game script, and that's how you really feel about them. When you're doing trickery and bullshit and holding back plays and shit,
Mm-hmm.
very vanilla. Wait till we get into the meat and potatoes of this schedule. When we start playing, the Eagles and Buffalo and Cincinnati,
You can't do that.
you gonna see the real shit then.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
but offensively, it's a lot to be desired. I get it; it's a
No, it
turnaround
is.
game. But these
I
receivers
don't
are
want to hear
always
that.
these
No.
receivers are gonna always be the talk of every game, whether it's
Yep.
good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
We're always gonna. I don't care. Pacheco could have 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. If none of these receivers show out, we're gonna talk about the receiver.
Yep. That's the sore
Yeah.
spot.
Kelsey
Clearly.
could have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns added on to what Pacheco got, and they still gonna talk about these receivers because at the end of the day, Kansas City, we're spoiled, man. We spoiled from Tyreek Hill. You can't come down from one of the best offenses ever. Not just in the league that year. It was just one of the
Of
best
all time.
offenses of all time. You can't come down like in every, you know what I'm saying? And we had a stretch from 18 to 20. With that offense, nobody can stop it. We can get points whenever we want to.
Even when Tyreek Hill went out, you still had D-Rob coming out of nowhere back in the day.
Yeah.
He had that blow-up game that week 2 against the Raiders years ago.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm most worried about the receivers is because we've seen other receivers step up with Mahomes and not great receivers. Byron Pringle.
Pringle, yeah, I was about to say Pringle. I was sad to see him go. At the same time, I wanted to see him. He deserved to get his money though, so I get it.
But I mean, if he's able to throw to guys like that and he trusts them, I mean, that concerns me with this core a little bit.
My bad.
But yeah, I hear you, Ty. But it's like, and I think Pat is bored. Pat is used to throwing bombs down the field, man.
Well, he ain't gonna be bored
last year, he was like, all right, cool, we gotta do it a little different. But you heard him this year in the offseason, we want to take more shots downfield because he got sick of that shit, man. Them check downs, throwing in the middle of the field, man. That ain't me. I'm Patrick Mahomes, man. I throw 40, 50-yard bombs down the field. This is showtime over here.
The problem is we don't have anybody that can get open 40 to 50 yards
and
down
I'm
the
bored
field.
as shit.
The closest they got to
this 5-yard dump off to Jarrett McKinnon.
The closest to a bomb that they had was Justin Watson. He got hurt.
Yeah,
that was the closest. Yeah. But I will say this though. I mean, with that injury though, I think it's going to help them narrow it down now as far as they being able to focus on some of these receivers though. I think that's probably
how always happened with us. Somebody get hurt, a couple people get hurt, and then finally it forced Andy Reid like, I didn't put this dude in. So hopefully it forced him to put Justin Ross in.
Well, they ain't got a choice. They have to.
Rice, more snaps.
They have to, and I think you're going to see. I don't know in the upcoming games and everything. If Ross is getting more, if Ross comes in and is getting more targets like we've seen before with, I mean, I wasn't shocked with Ross not getting much play on a short week at all. I mean, I wasn't shocked about that. But if he's getting more targets in this upcoming game versus the Chargers next week, more than Sky Moore, we'll have a different kind of conversation about Sky Moore going forward.
How you feeling, Clarence?
I mean, you just seeing the evolution. You know, I'm sure Andy's not happy. I'm sure Pat's not happy. But it's just the nature of the beast, right? So you got young guys, but you have a running back that can ease this burden, and you have a really, really, really good defense for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. So
the name of the game is to get a dub. However, look, you talk to Philadelphia fans, they don't like the way Philly is winning. They don't like that. They go from one week to the next where they can score 31 against the Commanders and then struggle to score 25 the next week, but they're undefeated and they're playing a defense and they're running the football and they're making the plays in the passing game that they need to make. And that's all you need to win a football game.
Right.
We discuss this week in and week out, from players to coaches. Everybody says it. We say it. It's tough to win in this league.
It is.
And all of these defenses in the AFC geared up to stop the Chiefs. All offseason, it was, how can we dethrone them? So you play two deep safeties. You make them have to dink and dunk you. You got these young guys that are still trying to get caught up. You got Rashid that's coming into his own and building his confidence. I mean, you got so many moving pieces that maybe we don't see them average 27 to 30 points this year. So what?
The Ravens didn't even do that during their Super Bowl run.
You got a great defense that gives you multiple opportunities with the football. You can kill teams with clock management and time of possession with Pacheco and Jarek. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this is just how they win this year. And then maybe you can get back to seeing the shot plays towards the end of this year, going into next year, because guys are more comfortable and more confident, including a Justin Ross. You know what I'm saying? But take it for what it is. They're 5-1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the defense is playing lights out without a Charles Omenihu, without the potentially
exactly
Frank Clark to come in.
Right.
I don't think,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many positives, because I know, like, last year and the year before that, like, the frustration was there because the defense would blow plays and just give up chunk yards to other teams.
Mm-hmm.
But now we got a defense that will come out and lock shit down completely.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, let them have 30, go 30 for 40 for 306 with a tutty, and they win the game with that defense. Because the defense could have gave up 28, to Denver.
Yeah.
Let them back in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's weird because it's almost like the old Raven style of football where it was just, they win ugly. Like back in the Ray Lewis days, they didn't score a whole lot of points because that's when they had Dilfer as their quarterback, I believe. But the defense just did.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, no, I'm not.
I will say this.
No. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the style.
It ain't that bad.
No, I'm talking about the style of winning, though. I'm talking about it's like it's not all flash on the offense, but it's just more so about the defense.
But that's always been a recipe. You talk to old heads, and they'll tell you that there used to be this thing where there's two things that always traveled, which was a run game and a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Pacheco
it's football. It's coming full circle. All we're seeing is the NFL and offense is coming full circle because teams have great athletes on the defense now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they can match that speed, and they're not falling for the jet motions, and unless you are Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle or one of them burners in Miami, like, nobody's getting burnt like that week in and week out no more.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You really got to come out there and play football now.
Yeah.
These quarterbacks really have to be on their shit and be the quarterbacks that they say they are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to it. I give these defenses a round of applause, man.
Yeah, I will say the defenses have caught up with the offenses over the last couple of years, and like you said, you've seen it, as an evolution thing. You kind of seen it happen, and it started slow, and then it started to really pick up, and to where the point where, it's almost equal, the talent and the speed and the versatility across the board, because now you got defenders that can do multiple things. They're not stuck to one position. You got guys that you can move around on the field. You can put a safety up in the linebacker spot nowadays. Like, I mean, all that stuff that you can do, to help keep up with this offense and the offenses and the speed and all that. But my only problem with, the Chiefs offense right now, it's not necessarily the deep ball like Ant was saying. It's like Chris said, last year we were able to, methodically get the ball down the field, take those little dink and dunks. But, right now we're not even being able to do that consistently. Now we've seen it at times, but it's not been consistent.
I mean, the game, as far as on the defensive side, is evolved so bad. Like you said, safety's dropping linebacker. You even got defensive ends dropping in coverage. It's just the way they're disguised, disguising this thing. So, I mean, like I said, big ups to these coordinators, unless you just absolutely suck. That's just what it is.
I know we played Denver yesterday, but I will say what was encouraging yesterday was from the 20s to the 20s. We was golden. We moving down the field. We moving the ball. It wasn't a struggle. It was just getting in the end zone.
Execution.
You know what I'm saying? In that red zone. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I will say that's encouraging. Like I said, I'm always going to say Rasheed Rice. That's encouraging. You get the
Yeah.
ball in his hands.
There's a solution to that. There's a solution to the red zone problem.
There is.
Mhm.
Instead of this stat, 16 carries for 62 yards.
Yeah.
It should look more like 20 to 21 carries for 85.
And
That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing with Pacheco, because every time Pacheco touches the ball these 10 times, they don't lose.
That's how you fix it.
Yep, that's what they're doing.
What do you have Creed and Trey and Tooney for? That's how you fix it, right?
I ask Andy that all the time on 3rd and 1.
That's how you fix it.
I look at the TV every time and I ask Andy Reid.
They say Pop runs like he's mad at the ground, and you see all of these
all these angry runs
on his space.
Right.
Yes. 3rd and 1, give it to Pop and just run it up the middle.
Like they did in the Super Bowl. Like they did in the Super Bowl. Go for it. Don't put the kicker out there.
It's not going to stop it twice. I don't give a damn how they're not going to stop it twice unless it's Philly's defensive front.
Nobody is fooled, though. We know that everybody knows that Mahomes is not going to make the play by himself on the 3rd and 1. We know that the quarterback sneak is out the playbook, period. So that's already gone. I don't get it. I really don't. I promise you, even if I don't care if it's $500 million, whatever, people making more than that, they still doing it. You still see Burrow getting these sneaks and doing what he got to do to win. I promise you, if they would try that once, I promise you the next one will be a first down.
And Joe Burrow's had a torn ACL.
This would be the best time to sneak Pat. This would be the best time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Line up in your normal
It drives me crazy that they don't do it.
Because they ain't expecting it.
They ain't expecting it.
No, they're not.
He might run for
we haven't put that on
what I'm saying?
since the Denver game. Yeah.
Might run for that whole
there's
red sea. Boom.
You're not expecting him to take off.
There's no difference between. I mean, they're so scared of the risk as far as with him getting hurt. There's no difference between him doing a quarterback
rolling
sneak
out the
and
pocket.
then him rolling out of the pocket and running down the field.
Right.
You get the risk is still the same.
They do option plays with Mahomes.
Yeah.
Option.
It makes no sense.
Option is unheard of in the NFL. Yeah, in college you can run that stuff, but in the NFL, them linebackers and defensive ends fast for you to be doing an option. And Andy would consistently do a play where he's doing an option pitch to McKinnon or Pacheco or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it does work sometimes, right?
It does work, but I'm just saying that might be worse.
That's more. No, it is. Are you not going to roll him out of the pocket, like Mark said? Are you not going to roll him out of the pocket anymore? Because he got hurt in that Jacksonville game.
All I know is I don't want to see Kadarius Toney in a situation where he was making that kind of decision. It was stupid to me. It looked like a selfish play.
Tony was calling his number last night.
100% that ball should have been handed off.
He was like, forget y'all. Both plays. He was like, forget y'all. I'm getting mine. The throw, he almost threw a pick.
Well, the throw, nobody was open. That was just.
If he had gained the ball to Pacheco, that'd have probably been a first down.
It was. It was there.
Yards.
It was there.
I was like, come on, Andy.
He looked confused after that play when they cut to him, though. He looked confused, like what? Like what?
But like I said, it's like Clarence said, run that football. Pacheco.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Until you figure out what you're gonna do with these receivers.
And Rasheed Rice, man. I told Clarence last night. Kelsey and Rice might just have to be the tandem right now, and everybody else just fall in line. Everybody else just fall in line.
But Andy won't do that. You know why? Because he's a rookie.
I understand, but you know what? Damn it, Deshaun Jackson was a rookie, and sometimes you guys you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mhm.
You
Jeremy
do.
Macklin was a rookie. And
Mhm.
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sometimes it
Well,
ain't about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly. No,
only-
I 100% agree, Chris. I'm just saying he's stuck in his ways. We've seen it with the play calling. He's stuck in his ways. Like we said, Andy Reid he's stubborn. And I'm not,
Andy is not
saying that I
Andy.
don't like Andy, but he's stubborn, man.
all I'm saying,
Even,
all I'm gonna say, if they're gonna run their offense like that, they might want to consider themselves another tight end because I'm telling you, Kelsey running that, and especially how
It's not
unhealthy he's looked,
sustainable.
it's not good at
No.
all. That's why I said what I said. Like maybe you might want to give the Cardinals a call. Just a
go get
thought.
Ertzies. Go get Ertz.
Mm-hmm.
Give them
I
a
mean,
call for Marquise Brown.
something. I'd be
No,
okay with it.
no.
Because I'd be
This
damn.
off season maybe, but
Yeah, maybe.
not mid season.
He's streaking down the field and Pat throws him a bomb and he drops it. I'm gonna be pissed.
Can Godwin stay healthy?
I mean, that's
Get
at
Tampa
least
Bay
he's
call.
at least he's streaking down the field and he's open. That's the progress.
Can
I mean,
God,
MVS once in a while streaks down the field.
Yeah, he
Justin
does
Watson
every once
streaks
in a
down the
while.
field.
can
Yeah.
Godwin stay healthy down in Tampa
Which
Bay?
one? I don't know. I
That's
like
my
Chris
question.
Godwin, but I don't know.
I do too, but the health is a question.
That's my
Something
second. Like,
else I was going to say to build off of what Clarence said about how to fix the red zone. Another thing that they're doing in the red zone a lot is they're giving MVS and Justin Watson snaps at the same time. I just don't think that that'll work because they are very
Well,
similar
Watson's out
receivers.
now, so you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah, well, they ain't got to worry about that now, but that's
Yeah.
something when Watson comes back to watch for because that's something
But-
I've seen them doing a lot when they're
but
throwing
in the
out
red
MVS
zone, though,
and Justin Watson.
in the red zone, that's when they typically had those dual threat. This is where you're missing people like Fortson, though, because they would usually have those two big
Yeah.
threats. You have Kelsey on one side, Fortson on the other side, and then Fortson to sneak in the back of the end zone. Then you'll catch him and then catch him off guard.
This is why you put in Justin Ross.
I agree.
I think part of that is just the trust with him because, like I said, last week, he was.
I
He was
think
turning
Mahomes trusts him.
No,
He was
he threw down the field. Thought there ain't no more trust in that.
No, he had four. Yeah, he did throw down the field to him, but he had two drops though too as well. That's probably what they're looking at as well.
He did. He had a couple drops.
Yeah, but I think, but to our point though, I mean, how's
But
that
one
gonna
of
help
them
if
was
he's not on the field?
tip, though. Yeah.
You gotta get on the field.
He do got it on. He had 10 snaps yesterday.
Yeah.
10.
See, that's
MVS had what?
But-
40. Yeah, 40. MVS had
46.
40 snaps.
And one target, and that was a throwaway. That don't count.
I think they're gonna be good, man.
Help me make it make sense. Help me
I
make
think
it. Make sense.
I think we just been accustomed to seeing high powered offense for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
And that's what I was
defenses
saying.
are like, y'all not doing shit. We not letting y'all just do whatever y'all want to do. Pat's not coming in here and throwing 5 touchdowns and high fiving and grinning and Travis is dancing. They not listen. You don't spend all off season and pay the money that you pay to bring guys in and to draft guys and get defensive coordinators and linebacker position coaches and secondary coaches to teach this shit up, to let the Chiefs come out there and rip and run up and down the damn field and do what the hell they want to do. They the defending Super Bowl champs, so they're going to get
Right.
everybody's best. So
They
this
getting everybody.
situation with the wide receivers and them not being on in sync and all of this shit, it's going to be what it's going to be, and they're going to figure out how to win football games.
Right.
Yeah, and everything's pretty
I
much
mean,
working.
you-
Outside of that, everything's
Look
working
at
for them
New
anyway. They're beating each other up.
Look at New England. New England was a
God.
prime example of this.
Oh,
Do we really want to look at
that
New England?
year that they beat the Rams, the year that they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl,
That was defense onslaught.
Tom did not have a high-powered offense.
No.
All that year.
he didn't have a
Yeah.
good. I mean,
He didn't need to.
They came to Arrowhead and got a dub, right?
yeah.
And they
On
went
it,
to
well.
the Super Bowl
Well,
with the
that dub,
shitty ass offense. Yeah, okay,
No.
there's a lot of things you can say about that dub. Obviously,
9-5 was
E4's ass.
offside.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But-
there's a lot of
No,
variables.
no, I get what
but
you're
they
saying.
still
I
got
hear
the
you.
dub and went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was the score in that Super Bowl?
3 to like 19
I
or
didn't even
something
watch
like that.
that Super
10 or
Bowl. I
something.
was
I
so
didn't
pissed off.
me either.
They only scored 3. The
Huge
Rams only scored 3 points
A
because somebody got like
snooze fest with
yeah.
Tom Brady
That's because
and Jared Goff.
Sean McVay was so starstruck. I'm playing Bill Belichick.
They got the
Oh,
dub.
God.
Well,
Mhm.
and
So
Bill
if they go
Belichick
back
is
to
a
back,
defensive mind too.
so if they win 2 in a row, does it matter?
No.
No,
Because I don't
not
see
at all.
anything else in the AFC that's going to beat them.
I've said this. There's
nothing.
I'm
nobody
watching.
in the AFC that scares me. The two teams that scare me
Nobody.
are on the NFC side,
Yeah.
and the only way we're gonna see, well, we see one this year, but even still, the only way we're gonna see those teams when it really matters is in the Super
This
Bowl.
is a Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it ain't even guaranteed we're gonna see one of them because it ain't
Right.
always the best team. It's the
Right.
hottest team that makes it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Never know. This
I-
might be the year for Detroit.
I just don't. I don't see
I don't know
anybody in
about
the AFC
Detroit
that's
now.
strong
I'm
enough
just
to beat
saying the
them.
ball might bounce a different way.
It might,
It
but it's just
could.
I'm just saying the 49ers are like a team that's been coming out and punching people in the face though.
That's what
It's
the
like,
49ers
jeez.
look like by far the best team in the
Yeah,
NFL, and it's not
Mhm.
even
they're playing
close.
in a different
Right
league right
now.
now.
Yeah.
The
Right now.
only
They just
thing, but
Wait until
my
November and
only
December when it matters.
my only
Mhm.
question about the 49ers is can they stay healthy? Can Debo Samuel
Right.
be healthy when it
Christian
matters? Can
McCaffrey.
that's one
CMC
of the
be
That's
healthy when it
always the
matters?
issue
Kittle,
that's
can he stay
Christian
that's
healthy
McCaffrey and
when it
George Kittle.
matters?
Even
no
IU.
no,
Even
but
IU.
even
He
so
just
here's
got back. He just got back a week ago.
Yeah.
yeah, he just got back a week ago. But here's my thing though about it though. Even with the 49ers, this is the challenge I've yet to that nobody's really seen yet. We have yet to see Brock Purdy go through any kind of adversity. We never seen him have to play catch up. He's always had a lead.
Because he doesn't have
True.
to.
That's what I'm
He
just
has
waiting
a
for.
damn good defense that keeps him in situations where
But there
I
will be a
don't have to
game.
make tough decisions with the football.
Yeah,
there will
but
be a game.
we're
There
waiting.
will
But
be a
I'm
game.
waiting. I'm waiting
It's
for that
always
moment
up.
to see what it's like when he's going to play it in adversity. What's it going to be like when he's not playing with a lead and they actually fell behind, or if it's an off game? What is that going to look like? He's never had to play like that. Not
I
one
mean,
game.
listen, that offense is so strong
Yeah,
that
didn't
wherever
need
he
to.
goes with the football, it's not a bad decision when he goes there.
I agree with you.
That's
But we know
that's
this
the
league.
worst part about it because he can go to the backup tight end Dwelly, he can go to Juszczyk, he can go to Juan Jennings, like
I agree.
Ronnie
They got a
Bell.
lot of weapons.
Yes,
They do.
Yeah.
But
it's not
you
a
know,
bad
Clarence,
choice anywhere he goes with the football.
Nope.
But
It's
Clarence,
just
you know, just like anything, I mean, Patrick had to go through it. There's been just some games. I don't care how many weapons you got. Your stuff just
It's
ain't
not
working this day.
Yeah,
You know what
Brock
I'm
never
saying?
had.
You're throwing picks.
And that
You
might
got-
be the day that they take their first loss because they still
That's-
undefeated. You know,
That's
what
my
I'm saying?
point, though. That's what I'm saying. Purdy's never had to experience that at all. You can go through every last one of his games, and I don't even count the Philly game. That was just, UCL. That was done. That was just a wash
You
game.
can't count
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But he's never had to go
Really
through
good
a
game
point
this
where
year,
he was
too.
down 7, I don't think, or 10 or 50 or 14. Now,
No.
show me one of those games and let's see how the tape looks.
Me and Mark already put this in the atmosphere. Watch out for that game in Seattle.
Yeah,
So,
Seattle's a
Thursday night in Seattle. They might be looking ahead because they got Philly on the horizon on the following week.
back-to-back road games. It looked
And
like
in Seattle.
That's the game in Seattle is a rivalry game though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
that
saying.
too.
Watch
That's
It's
out
a
for
lot.
that game. Watch out for
They're
that
not gonna be
game.
looking past Seattle. That's
You
rivalry.
saying Phillies is in the back end. You know they licking their chops at Philly like oh.
Yeah, but Seattle
Whoop
when they
your
go
ass.
up to the Pacific Northwest, man, them
I know
games is extremely physical, man.
the
them
12
games
gonna be out
is-
there loud, not louder than us, but loud.
Them are some tough football games. As Vernon Davis,
I'm already knowing.
as
knowing.
Crabtree.
There was something else I wanted to mention about Nick Bolton. So in coverage yesterday, he allowed a 0.0 passer rating. I believe he was targeted maybe once or twice. He had 19 pass coverage snaps. I mean,
Nice.
and even I've said in the past he struggles in pass coverage, but he didn't last night. So you got to give him his props. And that was his first game back too on a short
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
My computer got a mind of its own. Kick me out.
I was like, what happened?
That's what I was saying. I
What
was like, what the world?
are you doing, man?
It kicked
You
me
want
out.
double time on? You
I'm
want
like, did
double
I?
screen time?
I'm like, did I say something?
You want
Jeez.
double screen time? No. No, but go
No,
ahead, Ty.
I just want to see the 49ers go through some kind of adversity, and we've yet to see it, though, especially with Purdy. I mean, I'm not knocking Purdy's just the real deal. I mean, we've seen him if you watch him at Iowa State, he was a very cautious thrower. He's just doing it's no different than what he's been doing in the league. And just the way the 49ers doing, and we can talk about Detroit all we want to. We expect them to win that division, but I just strongly believe he's going to get out coached, though, in the postseason.
I just think Detroit's. I mean, they don't have enough experience. I think that's my biggest problem with them. As far as from the coaching staff down to the players,
Who?
the Lions.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing with coach. It's just coaching matters that later on in that postseason. And
Right.
of course, we can't factor in injuries right now. I mean, you knock on wood and hope everybody at their best and stuff like that. But
Right.
gonna be tough.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna be
definitely
tough.
gonna be tough. So, fellas, I had PSA for Chris Jones, man.
Pay the man.
Well, actually, it's more so.
That should be the only thing.
It's more so a PSA for Chiefs Kingdom. He was
Should
right.
I?
He was right. He was right. He's worth every dime that he has. So all y'all that said he was greedy, all y'all that said he's selfish, y'all eating crow right now, man. This man is on another sack. He is on another sack record. 11 sacks. 19 in 16 games. He's second all time as far as the streak goes behind, or he's tied with Justin Houston. He was right, man. He was right for holding out. Because look at him. He ain't need no training camp. He ain't need no off season. He's coming in right in and just being dominant. He is every bit of Aaron Donald. No more of this. Oh, well, he's not Aaron. No, he's Aaron Donald. He's Aaron Donald. He's on the same level.
I don't know if I'm ready to go that far yet, Chris.
He's on the same level, Ty. He means just as much to this defense as Aaron Donald means to the Rams.
No, I wouldn't argue against that. No, yeah,
and he does the same exact stuff.
Yep.
When you get to a point,
he does. Yeah.
When you get to a point, and this what separates the Aaron Donalds from the rest, and the JJ
from
Watts,
the Quinn and
TJ Watts,
and
and all them dudes. You know what separates them is when they can go on the line and they say, "Chris, pick somebody. Just pick somebody who you think you can beat," because that's what JJ Watt did it for years. Aaron Donald, that's what he does. Pick a guard.
Chris Jones
pick it in.
Line up anywhere he want to.
Because you're that damn good. Just pick somebody and win win and get us this sack. It is 3rd and 8, and we need this sack. Yep. What did he do? He did it in the AFC Championship game.
Yep. No different what Aaron Donald did in the Super Bowl. No different.
He's had a few clutch sacks this year. Jacksonville.
Without him, the pieces around him aren't the way they are. And it's point blank, period. Karlaftis, Mike Dana's probably.
I like Mike Dana.
Dana, all of them, but it's just something they just level up a whole nother notch with Chris Jones in the lineup.
9-5 is out there is different.
Mm-hmm.
And 9-5 is worth every penny. If Brett Veach today, if they said they gave him, I don't know, 3 years, 150 million, I don't know, I wouldn't be mad. They said they was giving 32 million, 32 every year.
But they didn't.
Right.
They did. But
and
I'm just telling you right now, Chiefs Kingdom, all the y'all they came up to me when I was doing the live pod at the Jackpot Bar and Grill. Shout out to everybody that showed up that night. They came up to me and told me, Chris Jones is so greedy. He is so greedy. We don't need him.
That's bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're gonna see next year. You're gonna see next year why we needed Chris Jones and Willie Gay and Drew Tranquill when they're all gone, and this defense is back to being let's
I
call it
think
like it
Drew-
is, back to being mid.
I think Drew comes back.
Nah.
But even so, with Chris Jones, you cannot do that
If you
because
let Willie Gay go, I think Drew comes back.
I'd rather have
they might. I mean, depending on how they draft, I don't know. I mean, that team.
That
But
too.
but everybody that has at least some sense, some kind of football sense, understand the game starts in the trenches,
Yeah.
offense and defenses, point blank. Period. And
I'm
last year,
not- and
and even this year, I mean, this year has actually gotten better because it's just the fact that the way they jailed everything went that's messed up and all this stuff. Like I said, last year, I thought it's like what I was seeing out there, the way they were getting to the quarterback and how they were the second team, they were second in sacks. That was something I had never really seen as a fan in my lifetime. The way they were getting at the quarterback. Usually it would be like they couldn't even get a hand or couldn't even touch these quarterbacks, and they usually have a
Right.
field day. I had never seen anything like that. And then I had questions about it going into this year, and it's only gotten better. And that's minus a Minihue, which is the unknown variant, which we know is all going to get better. I mean, make the arguments, if they're going to go after Clark or not. Personally, I'm starting to lean to maybe not. I mean, I think the only
bring the
reason,
shark back, baby. Bring Shark back.
the only reason why you might want to bring the shark back is so that way
We
he can
need
get that.
sound bites. We just need sound bites. That's all.
No, actually, the only reason, well, one of the main reasons I want to see him get back is that way so he can get that sack record in the postseason.
That too.
That's what I want to see. But I honestly, I don't know that would happen. I don't know.
They can put him on the practice squad. Bring him out when he's ready. I'm just saying. They can put him on the practice squad and bring him up when he's ready. Bring him up after the bye week at that stretch run. We play Philly and Buffalo and all of them.
Just don't let
Clark be
him go.
ready. And he ain't gonna be. We're not asking Clark to play
No.
every down.
No.
He's gonna be.
I would play him on
rotational
third
piece.
downs.
15,
downs.
maybe 20 snaps, if that.
But there will be other teams
Depending on
going
the
after
game
him, though.
flow.
There will be other teams going after him, though.
Yeah, there
And
will be.
And
Mhm.
Frank Clark, you know why I would want Frank Clark? Because he'll be helpful for FAU.
Yeah.
Guys like that.
But there is kind of like a little speculation. Everybody talking about the possibility he might go back to Seattle,
I wouldn't be mad at that.
which is a possibility. I can see
He'll
that
help
happening.
Seattle for real. He'll help Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw somebody talking about Jacksonville maybe being in on him.
I can see that.
To compliment the other
What?
Josh Allen, that would be good
Yeah.
for him.
The one thing Frank Clark will bring to a defensive line is edge. He's going to always bring that edge.
Yep.
And he's going to bring leadership. Say what you want about Frank Clark. Frank Clark is a leader. He's an alpha. When he gets in that locker room, dudes, listen.
Yeah.
That's why Chris. One of the reasons why Chris Jones won him back.
Yeah. He is an alpha. He's a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, man. Hey, I got a question for y'all. Speaking of leadership, who's the leader in this wide receiver room?
None of the above.
That's Rashee Rice.
Nah,
It's
I
a
don't
rookie. It's a rookie. That's how bad it is. It's a rookie because the vets are MVS and Justin Watson. That's why.
He's the most talented of it, but he's not the leader.
He's not the leader.
He's not the leader,
He's
unfortunately. He can't be.
I'm just asking, who's the leader?
To me, he's not. I mean, he's still got a long ways to go before he gets to that point.
Well, if it ain't Rashee, then who is it?
No. There's a difference, Todd. This is what I'm saying. This is where I'm going with this. Is that as far as they're getting them receivers together, as far as they're taking care of business and everything, making sure that they, this is the guy that's holding them accountable. Rashee Rice is not there yet. He's the most talented.
No, he's not doing that.
He's
That's
the
what
most
I mean by
talented.
leader. That's what I mean by leader.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like who's the
Not leading
best
receiver.
player.
I know. I'm talking about leader in that room that, hey, man, let's get it together. Let's go, y'all. Hey, get in our playbook. Let's go.
Do we
Let's come
have
together.
that? I don't
You
think
wrong,
we have
Chris.
that.
Chris, you
I'm
wrong.
asking, why am I
To be
wrong.
determined.
Why am I
Because-
wrong, Clint?
Why is this a conversation topic?
I can't ask a question?
No, not that one. All right. No,
All right,
not that one.
I'm off of it.
Listen, you know what you be doing. You need to stop that mess. You need to stop that mess, man. You know exactly what you're doing. Who,
asking a question.
who the leader in that wide receiver room?
They ain't
I
no
just want to
leader.
know. I just
There
want to
ain't-
know.
MVS,
Is it MVS? Is it
No,
Justin
you know good
Watson?
damn well ain't
It's-
no leader
ain't
in that
nobody.
room at
The,
all.
o-
No.
the only the
Ain't
only
got
one
one.
the only one
Exactly. They don't.
the
They
only
defer to
leader?
Travis.
Who was the leader
They
last
defer
year?
to Travis for all of it.
Juju
But
was
Travis
the leader
is in the
last
tight
year.
end room. That don't count.
Juju
They
was the
defer to
leader.
him.
Juju
Who was the leader
leader.
last year?
Juju.
I don't even know if it was Juju because he was just talented. There's a difference. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between
Who
being
was
the
the
leader
leader
No,
and
I
last
being
think
year?
it was
talented.
no. I think
I
it
give
was
it to
Juju because
Juju last year.
Juju played
Juju
around
was the
great
He was the lead
receivers.
dog.
He played around Antonio Brown. He
Juju
played
was.
around plenty of
He
good
was the lead
receivers in
dog.
Pittsburgh.
You can tell who that guy is, by
Right,
who
and he
the lead
was.
dog is. Like
And who?
Yeah,
Right,
Juju was. Juju was
Juju
the
it
leader.
was
was.
Juju, but this year ain't nobody.
No.
It's everybody
It's
loves
Travis.
everybody.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you said, it's Travis.
ELE, everybody love everybody.
Well, I mean, even so, here's a prime example of it though,
I'm leaving bullshit.
because Mahomes is basically having to get in the receivers and everything. He's basically telling them what they got to do. There was one play specifically where Pat Mahomes was clearly looking for Travis, but Travis saw the play develop and knew he wasn't open. So then he told him to redirect. I forgot who he was throwing to in the play. No, he threw it to the running back. That's what happened. There was no receiver open. Travis wasn't open. I think the play was designed for Travis, and then Travis was one told Mahomes to throw it to. I think it was McKinnon. It was either McKinnon or Pacheco,
Yeah.
one of those two. So basically, it's between Pat, Travis, whatever that looks like. That's just
There's
basically
not
what's
a
been
leader
going
in that
on.
room.
No, it's not.
There's not.
To Chris's question, he said, "Who's the leader in that room?" And there
Even-
isn't one.
Even so, realistically, I
There
mean,
isn't one. You
depending on.
look at MVS's numbers.
Who would you say? Chris ain't even answering his own question.
Well,
How you going to ask a question and then not
MVS
answer your own
But
question?
even
MVS
so-
is the most tenured guy in that room, right?
Because I know the answer, Ty. I'm asking
Well, what's
you.
the
Look at
answer?
his
Well,
numbers.
what's
There
the
is
answer?
none.
It's a
There is
hypothetical.
none.
Look at
But
his
even
numbers.
But even so, even you go back to last year, we talking about Juju and stuff like that. He was the most talented. Do I think he was the leader? No, he was just. They just had a lot of
So
talent.
whose voice was in that locker room last year?
I think it was
In
Juju.
that
I
wide
think it was
receiver
Juju.
room.
I think Juju
To a-
was the leader last year.
To
I
a
think it was
degree.
Juju, and I think it was a collective of
Who
Juju.
who else was going to be the advocate in that room?
I
McCall?
think. Listen,
Nobody really was. But truth be told, Bieniemy though was a different animal though when it came to running
True.
that offense as
I-
well. That's why I
Juju,
said
yeah.
Juju. That's why I'm like Juju. I'm like no, not so much because even if you look down the sidelines and stuff like that, he wasn't saying jack. He was the most talented, but he was not the leader.
No, I still stand by. I still think he was the leader because he played along great receivers. He knew what to expect. He knew what was expected when he, he played with Mike Tomlin. He played alongside Antonio Brown.
Yes,
he
but
played alongside other great
Yes.
receivers.
Yes, he's talented. Don't get me wrong; he has potential to be a leader, but he still has areas where he can grow up though and to develop to be a leader. I will say that though.
No,
Now,
that's
how's
true.
that? Now, how's that translating in New England?
I
That's
mean,
my
it's the
question.
precedent. It's the precedent. New England,
So
right?
basically,
Nobody's
I
that's
mean,
why-
New England's
What
terrible.
does New England have to do with this?
No,
That's why I'm saying
nobody's
that-
a leader in New England.
What the hell does New England have to do with this?
what I'm
Because
saying, you
he-
said
he
what,
tried to
didn't
correlate that
y'all
Juju's
did y'all
not the
just say
leader over there?
did y'all just say Juju was the leader of Kansas City?
That's
Yeah.
fucking New England with Bill Belichick and Mac Jones. Like, it's not Tom Brady in that building.
But there's a difference. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Juju being in New England has absolutely shit to do with him in Kansas City.
Because you're talking about a leader and a talent. There's a huge
That
difference,
doesn't
Clarence.
mean nothing.
It's
That
a
has
huge
nothing to
difference.
do
He was
with
talented,
Juju
but he
being
was
in
not
New
the
England.
leader. He was
That
not
has
a
nothing
leader.
to do with Juju being in New England.
He was not the leader.
Absolutely nothing.
That has absolutely. You said he was.
Totally different
You said he was the leader in Kansas City, right?
Totally different
You said he was the leader in
scenario.
Kansas City, right? That's what you said.
Okay.
Then shouldn't that
Okay.
translate to
You
New
want to
England?
be right, so stand on your platform and be right, dog.
No, I'm just saying. Then distinguish between the difference between being the most talented and being a leader. Explain it. Explain it. I'll wait gladly because he's talented. I'll give you
Next
that.
topic, Chris.
Man, it's because you want to be petty and everything. That's just the reality of it, though. He's talented. I'll give you that. He's
No,
very
yeah,
talented.
Let you
No,
talk
he's not a
for
leader.
fucking 20 minutes. I didn't say nothing.
He's not a leader.
Look, I'll
You
answer
got
your
to say
question.
your point,
Mark.
and I didn't say anything. I let you get it off.
I'm just saying everything. He went over to New England. Then what did he go to New England for? I'm
I'll
just saying,
answer.
don't pinpoint the whole thing
Go
so
ahead,
about
Chris.
somebody being a leader, and then that doesn't translate. It doesn't work that way.
No.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
I'll
I'm gonna
answer
sit
your
here and eat my
question, Mark.
almonds because clearly I can't talk and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anyway. So I'm
No,
gonna eat
I'm
my
just trying to
almonds.
help you. If you want to
I don't
get all
need your
petty
help. I'm
about
a
it and be
grown
all,
man. I'm grown, bro. I don't need
I'm
your
just telling
help.
for what it is.
I don't
And
need
just
your
because you're a grown
help.
man, don't mean you can't
I
listen
don't
to
need your
somebody's
help though,
opinion.
brother. I don't need it. I got 4 eyes actually. So I don't need your help. I got this. I
Man, accept it
appreciate
for
it.
no, accept it
Both of
what it
y'all
is.
stop that shit.
All right, can I answer Mark's question real fast?
Go ahead.
The honest answer. Okay, the difference between just being talented and being a leader. Okay, so when you're a leader, you know what's expected of you. You know what's expected of everybody else around you. So your job is to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I do believe that was Juju's role. Now, you don't have to believe that, and that's fine. I'm not going to argue, against that. But I mean, that's what I seen him do last year. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I
It's
felt
just
like he brought structure into that work. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he was a voice. I think Sky listened to him. I think MVS listened to him.
I
I
think you
think
could tell by the way the players acted too
yeah, I
when
think
when they talked about Juju.
there's a difference between this receiver room and last year's receiver.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a clear difference, and I think
It
Juju
is.
is different, and I think he was a voice. Do I think he was the voice in the whole? Of course, Travis,
no,
Mahomes, and
No.
Eric Bieniemy and Andy Reid and all them, they had a more of a higher voice. When we talk about just specifically the receivers, I think Juju was the voice in that room. He
right.
was the one that rallied the guys and got them together and made sure everything was right. So that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Y'all over here fighting things, man.
I mean, we can agree to disagree, but that's just from what I that's just from there's just a difference in opinion. But it's like I said and everything. I'm gonna make a valid point and everything. Don't get sit there and get all offended and stuff like that.
Anyway, let's talk about Travis Kelce, man. Now we all asked the question, was Father Time catching up with Travis Kelce? Now I know he played Denver last night. And Denver was just like, we're just gonna open up the zone for you, Travis, and let you do whatever you want. It's 24/7, 7-Eleven over here in this middle of this field, man. But he still looked like the old Trav. And do you feel like this is potential to springboard Travis going forward? Start with you,
Yeah,
Trav.
yeah, I think so. I mean, I think this should get him back on track. And one thing I mentioned when I said all that about Travis, I said he was still coming back from the injury, still early in the season. I never said he was washed or anything like that. And I never said that. So I don't know why you look at it. I never said that he was washed. I think this will be good for him. Yeah. I mean, you just get back on track and then you get 10 days of rest in between this game and the next game. So I'm expecting Trav, he's back. He's what we expected of him. He's back.
Go ahead, Mark.
I think the expectations will be great on him though. One of these receivers got to
Yeah.
one of these receivers got to step up, point blank, period. Because these defenses, that's the point we've been talking about. These defenses are catching up. So what do you think is going to happen if the Chiefs don't change nothing? I mean, we can say Andy Reid is doing all he wants. I mean, we don't know what the plans are going for. I mean, they might ramp it up, after the bye week or Miami, because just typically how Andy Reid functions and everything. It's usually after the bye week when they start taking things up another notch, and that's when they come back. And I believe they play Philly on that schedule. So, but I mean, it's something definitely to keep an eye on as far as managing Kelsey. Say what you want about all the other stuff what's going on around him, but just one of these receivers got to step up.
What you got for me, Clarence?
As far as Travis go, I mean, Travis is gonna be Travis.
Right.
He's 34, like we already talked about. He's 34. He's getting up there, but there's still gonna be flashes of it. Even on the decline, when he gets to that point, there's still gonna be the flashes of who he is. You know what I mean? So like last night, I felt like Denver, given how Denver likes to give up points, you know what I mean? It was gonna come from somewhere, and Travis was gonna get his regardless. Like, you're not gonna stop him. You know, what was the stat line from that Raider game last year in Kansas City? Like it was like five
Four,
catches,
four touchdowns and
Four
28 yards.
touchdowns.
yeah, 28 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna impact the game somehow, some way. Like you're not shutting him out.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It was even though it was against Denver, it was encouraging to see him. You know what I'm saying? Run around looking like old Trav. Um, we understand that. He had the
On a
injuries and
bad ankle.
yeah, on the bad ankle and still dealing with a hyperextended knee. Like, let's not act like that. He's still not dealing with that. That just don't go away. You know what I'm saying? So, for him to do that, you know what I'm saying, and put up the numbers that he put up last night, that was impressive. I thought it was impressive what he did and when he came back in the Vikings game, and in the drive that he came back in that, I thought that was impressive. He made plays on in that drive and scored a touchdown. So, um, I was encouraged. Hopefully, we get to see Trav because it just seemed like, like I said, he's coming back from an injury, but it just looked like Trav ain't really having fun this year right now. Like, but hopefully we get to the Travis is having fun dancing in the end zone and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that will open up more stuff for the receivers, and they step up their game like Mark said. So. All right, now let's talk about Rasheed Rice, man. Now, last night, um, we saw we keep seeing him stack games, and in each game he keeps getting better. The drops are not have not been an issue for these past two games. He hasn't dropped a pass. He's starting to concentrate, catch the ball better over there, especially in the middle of that field. And the one thing I like about Rasheed Rice is he's got a burst, man. Like he catches that ball, he's gone. Like, I didn't think he had this when we drafted him. I thought he was going to be one of those, yards after the catch, get the tough yard type receiver. But this kid, he gets the ball in his hand, especially on that screen pass. Got the ball in his hand. He was gone. you know. So I'm encouraged what I see from Rasheed Rice, and I feel like hopefully with these 10 days of them, Andy in the lab, stewing up something for the Chargers. Hopefully, what I'm saying, we see some more stuff that's schemed up for Rasheed Rice, where he's the first option. You know what I'm saying? Give Trav a little bit of a break. Now he doesn't always have to be the first option. Hopefully we can get some more stuff in the middle of the field, and maybe we can see some more stuff on him outside. You know what I'm saying? And he's proven to be good in the red zone too. I don't understand why they don't use him more in the red zone. Get him lined up on a linebacker or safety because he's fast enough to shake those guys, at the line of scrimmage. So get more slant routes and crossers and digs for him in the end zone. I think he could be effective. So, what are your guys' thoughts on what you saw from Rasheed Rice?
The league's on notice as far as Rishi Rice. I mean, I strongly believe that people see him right now as the number two. I mean, we might see it differently. Ty sees him as a one. Right now, I see him as a one because he's just doing what he need to do. Tony, he ain't acting like a one. Let's just be real. Some of the things that he doing, yeah, he getting targets, but just some of the things that he's just doing fundamentally is actually a little bit disappointing. But Rasheed Rice, I mean, we don't know what that ceiling is. I only know what his total number of yardage is right now. But
245. He's second in receiving yards behind Trav.
240, 245. So
Yeah,
we're saying realistically.
Trav has 345.
So what are we seeing? What's the number that we're probably seeing for Rasheed Rice, knowing what we know now?
Um, I would say, I mean, I would say 800 yards, 7 to 800 yards, and like 6 touchdowns
That's a
would be
fair.
reality for me. You know what I'm saying? For him, especially as a rookie, it could go up depending on how many snaps, how his snap rate goes up, and how many times they start really implementing him into the offense.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, I see him like a 700, 800 yard receiver. That might be the leading receiver right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he might be the leading receiver at 700 and 800 yards because MVS look like he about to have 300 yards this year, if that.
Under.
It's
I'm going with the under.
But on the other side of that though too is also, I mean, as it starts, the weather's going to get colder and everything. I believe Pacheco's production might go up even more.
True.
We're
True.
starting to
Yeah.
see that. So I'm thinking maybe 5. I mean, I would like to see him get 6. I think that's might be a stretch. I mean, he could have a breakout 100-yard game. Who knows? So
I think
he's
that's
looking
coming.
he's
I think
looking
that's
like the one. Like I said, right, it just depends on what happens around everything else around him. Kelsey. I think he's as far as with his route running and everything and how he's able to help Pat direct traffic and everything as far as who's doing what, who needs to do what, who's supposed to be placed. And also, we still have the unknown questions with Ross and all these other people. But
yeah.
I think 6 is realistic. Could probably end up maybe about 5, 6 touchdowns somewhere on there. But he's definitely a rising star though.
What you think, Clarence?
You can see the potential. You know what I mean? It's a growing process for him. His rookie year, his learning system is getting that confidence so that he can start to ad lib and think
Mm,
and be in sync with Pat. You know what I
right.
mean? Like second half of the season, I think we'll start to see a little bit of it. But him coming along, it'll push Justin Ross to get up to speed quicker as
Mm,
well.
mm,
Him seeing that confidence and saying, okay, we've been through this OTAs, mini camps, training camp. Like he's getting it. What I need to do to get up there. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I think it's a good thing to see Rashid open up the game in the lineup. Number one, get a
Mm,
catch. You know what I'm saying? Get everything rolling. You know what I'm saying? Like you just keep stacking these good games.
mm,
And remaining consistent. And then, especially now with Justin Watson being out, you know what I'm saying? Justin Ross is definitely going to get more opportunities. You
right.
know, they don't have a choice now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he's got to come in and do the same, give the same production output that Rashid is giving. So
Right.
I mean, it's only gonna improve with Rashid being in this lineup and making them plays.
I don't want to. I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm being realistic because you know how loyal Andy is when it comes to players and coaches. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're playing bad, if we feel
Mm-hmm.
like the coach ain't coaching good, he's gonna remain loyal. He'll never fire or
Mm-hmm.
a coach or anything or put his player on blast, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He'll never throw him under the bus. But let's say hypothetically, Rasheed Rice keeps stacking these games, and next thing you know, he's looking like the number one guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say, hypothetically, Sky gets better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's gonna be, a 100-yard guy, but let's just say he's doing his part. He's getting 40, 50 here, 60 here. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's supposed to do. And MVS keeps trending in the level he's trending. Could you see them saying, you know what? We know we paying you this money, but you're not producing. Do you see them taking the snaps away for these young guys?
I
I think
could.
they should.
They should.
I think that should already be happening right now. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, that's basically the language of the
This,
Chiefs and everything, to be versatile anyway. As far as if you're not getting it done, giving 40 snaps, what are you there for?
Right.
You're just basically just a body, just occupying where somebody else can be growing development. It's no different than how they handled the cornerback situation last year, and the cornerbacks just happened to fall in place. And they
Yeah,
were young,
yeah.
so
I think.
And I feel like that's that. Okay,
No, go
go ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I think that's how they're maneuvering this wide receiver room, like they're doing with the cornerback room. They just threw numbers at it, and they
mhm.
was just like something's gonna stick. Two of these guys is gonna do something.
Right. But
You know what I'm saying?
but I will say I've seen that going around, being a take. The difference between the corners and these receivers, we seen the corners, they showed out early. You got to remember, Jalen Watson had that game winning pick six in week 2.
Yeah,
And you got to remember also that Trent McDuffie was hurt for the first like 7 or 8 weeks or whatever it was. But I
and he
see
was a
what you're
first
saying.
round
I'm
pick.
Yeah.
just, yeah.
No, I mean the difference is Trent McDuffie was the first round talent, and he's showing he's a first round talent. He might be better than Derek Stingley. You know what I'm
That
saying? He might be the second best corner in that
Out of
draft.
that class.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, out
thought
of
he
that class.
was.
but
Thought
that
he
You
pick
know what I'm
was.
six
saying?
though, that pick six that you talking about, that Watson had though, that was the turning point because early
Yeah,
in the
that was.
season he was getting picked on a lot, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, is this the guy who's going to get it done?
Yeah.
And then from that point, he turned around and just took off. And you can even make the same thing, same argument with was it Williams? I think
Joshua
Joshua.
Williams.
Yeah, because
Oh, he
he
was
had
getting cooked in that Bills game.
yep,
Yeah.
and then he turned it
And that
around.
Cincinnati game.
Yep.
And that first Cincinnati
When
game.
they
You
put
know,
him on
he was
T.
right there.
Higgins.
He was right there. I ain't trying to kill him. He was
Yeah, he
right there.
was.
That was
Mhm.
his problem. He was right there. The coverage
And
was
it was
good.
a slant, so I
It
mean,
was just Burrows was just too accurate.
And,
yeah,
It
and
was
part
it was a
and part of
slant.
that too is like I always make that argument though is that the schedule that they had last year is actually prepared them because they had one of the toughest schedules coming out the
Yeah.
gate. So I
Yeah.
don't think without that first half of the way that schedule started, I don't think that team is the way it is.
Yeah, I hear you. And the difference is this receiver room don't have a Legarius Sneed of the receiver room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that helped a lot too.
And the
But
difference between and another difference is we had Fenton last year, who we ended up, he was terrible. We ended up
He was
trading him. That's so
Yep.
that shows you they were confident in them young corners early in the season because they did trade them at the deadline.
true.
Is that the
true.
perspective probably what a lot of these fans are thinking about? Why
They
they're talking
trade
about, oh, we
MVS.
don't need you.
I hope so.
Maybe they trade MVS.
But I think that's the
No, I was
perspective a
gonna
lot.
say something about Rice real quick, and
Go
Hey,
ahead.
go ahead.
I'll let you go ahead. Yeah, so with Rice, I see him as one wide receiver one right now, and I said it a couple weeks ago that it was trending that way, and especially with the way MBS has completely fallen off the map this year, and then the way Sky Moore is not getting targeted, and then the way that Justin Ross not getting on the field. Really, right now, Rashee Rice is the wide receiver one. You seen it last night. Who has the most receiving yards on this team right now?
It's him.
Tim.
Yeah.
It's him. It's Rashee Rice. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, hopefully, we see continue to see him stack games, and hopefully in this Chargers game, you know what I'm saying, he gets more looks, more touches. You know what I'm saying. I want to see that 4 go from like 6 to 7. You know what I'm saying, like
Right.
6 to 7 catches.
Because I think if he gets that, he could easily have 100, around 100 yards, maybe in the 90s, and a touchdown.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing that go up, from here on. Given these 10 days, I can see Andy cooking up some stuff for this Charger game because we already know how we play the Chargers. We tend to take the Chargers more serious than we take the Raiders. Or
Oh,
Denver,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Chargers always play. Say what you want about the Chargers, and yeah, they blow the game a lot against us, but they're always competitive against us.
Yeah. It always comes down to the wire.
Exactly. It comes down to some stupid decision that the coach made. Yeah.
There's always a lead change somewhere in the third quarter every time they play each other.
Yep.
It's either somebody takes over or it's just back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of Justin Watson, he's going to be out for a couple of games, dislocated elbow. We wish him the best. We never want to see a player get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but like we just said, this should open up opportunities for other receivers. Hopefully Sky Moore can take this and see this as a challenge to take that step forward. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to lean on him, regardless of what we think. They're going to lean on Sky Moore. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to. Justin Ross, he's going to have to make the most of his opportunities, man, because this is the time. This is the time to make the most of them opportunities, man. And, once you drop a few passes from Pat, he ain't going back to you. That's the one thing about Patrick Mahomes.
Are we sure about that?
No, because McCole
Are
Hardman
we
did the
sure
same
about
thing. So they
that?
went right back. Well, then I was under the enemy too.
But
so.
him and McCole was never on the same page. Never.
Yeah, that's true.
They were never on the same page. Like, say what you want about DeMarcus Robinson, he ran backwards. The first down be right there, and he run 3 yards backwards. But he loved him some DeMarcus Robinson.
He did.
He had a kinship, and maybe because when they was rookies, they came up in preseason together and whatever. But he loved him some DeMarcus. Even Byron Pringle.
Yeah.
He trusts Byron Pringle.
And these are not great receivers. So what does that tell you about this current room if he's not trusting these guys?
True.
These Pringle knew how to get open though.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Where's Pringle even at now? Because he's not in
That's
Chicago anymore.
I think he's a commander now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
commander now. Last time I saw Demarcus Robinson was a Ram. I don't know if he's still there though.
Now, last I saw, he was a Raven. That was like a year ago, though.
Yeah.
In the offseason, he got signed by the Rams, but I don't know if he's still there. But what you got, Clarence? All right, fellas. Who's y'all player of the game? Players. So I said.
Players of the game. So I'll start with the defense. I'm gonna go with Nick Bolton, obviously coming back, getting the interception. Just making plays like he always does. What we expect from Nick Bolton. And then on offense, I want to give it to Trav because he obviously had the 120 yards. But I'm gonna go with Rice because he is he's separating himself from all these other receivers. So I'm gonna go with Rice.
What you got, Mark?
Travis Kelsey on offense, he got his yards and he was directing the way he was just directing traffic and everything. He was helping Pat. If you just watch the game, it was just clear, just what he was doing.
Right.
And then defense, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna give it to Willie Gay. I'm gonna have to give it to him. He was responsible for the tip, and then he was responsible for the way it closed out. Granted, Chris Jones, he's gonna do his thing, but he had above average game. He did what he was supposed to do.
I'm not mad at that at all. On offense, I'm gonna have to give it to Travis. I just think Travis was doing his thing. It's probably his best game this season. So only thing he fell short of was getting in the end zone. So, but he put on the clinic against Denver. Defensively, I'm gonna go with Jay Reed. I think Justin Reed had
I
one
like
of his.
that pick.
Yeah, he did.
I think
Yeah,
he
he
had
did
one
have
of
a
his
game.
best games. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a pick. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing, man. And we always kill him. We always kill him. He got an interception and a sack. I got to give him his props. You know what I'm saying? And he was hitting. He was hitting too. Like he was laying the wood on people. So definitely got to give him his props, man. All right, fellas, man. Let's go ahead and land this thing, man. Another good episode in the books. You look down at the bottom, you'll see the link emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you go to that link, you'll see the locker room access of all the podcasts under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella. They got a 49ers one, the Patriots one, the Jets one, and they got ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the banner. You'll see all of our episodes from the past and the recent ones. Also, check out their podcast. They talk about everything league-wide, college football, and they give you betting tips for the week. So check them out. You can follow them at EMQ Podcast, and you can also follow their YouTube channel. So subscribe to them. Shout out to them. Also, whatever streaming platform that you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Arrowhead Chief Podcast is on there. Go ahead and subscribe. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're a first-time subscriber or first-time watcher. Subscribe, hit that notification button. So on Mondays and Saturdays, Mondays when we do our lives, you can join in if you got the free time, or you could just watch on the playback, or you can watch our episodes on Saturday morning. So check us out. And whatever social media platform that you use, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, whatever social media platform that you use, we're on there. Follow us. We'll follow you back because our motto is we're not Hollywood over here. We are regular fans just like you, and we just want to give you the best Chiefs content that we can give you. Just remember, talk to us nice and normal, or we will come and slap you. No, I'm just playing. But seriously, follow us and will give us feedback, critiques, questions, stuff you want us to bring up on the pod concerning the Chiefs. Hit us up, man. If it's within reason, we will bring it up on the pod. So, all right, y'all. Until next time.
I'm out.
We're gone.